All right, this is my build in public log. Today I'm going to talk about something good that happened over the weekend. I'm finally seeing some positive results from last week's project and launch. Pretty good things are starting to happen. So let's get into it. First, my random story for today. I'm going to be talking about Turkey, the country, very randomly, not the food that I ate this last week for Thanksgiving. So I ended up getting stuck living in Turkey for almost 2 years. I literally booked a one-way ticket to Istanbul the day before I went. I was in Ethiopia and I was going to get on a plane a couple days later to go to Uganda with my friend. So we were backpacking in Africa, and I'd spent quite a bit of time in Africa already, and I was pretty burnt out on traveling. And Ethiopia was very tough. It's grueling backpacking. It's for what I would say more advanced travelers. Let's put it that way. It's pretty rough. And turns out, we didn't realize it at the time, but we were seeing a lot of unrest and weird stuff happening. Turns out they were headed for a civil war. A civil war happened very sadly right after we left. So it was tough times. So I was just burnt out. I'd been traveling, backpacking for quite a while. And I just wanted to go somewhere close, somewhere much more modern with a lot more amenities and somewhere with better internet, which I'm going to talk about later this week. And so I got in a fight with my friend. I was just sick of everything. I just wanted to go hang out in a hotel or a nice Airbnb. And I know this is going to sound petty and very first world problem-y, but I really wanted an iced latte. I just wanted to sit and just have an iced latte, have 3 iced lattes, just nice internet, nice amenities. I needed to spend some time out of there. So I booked a one-way ticket to Istanbul because somebody I had met earlier in North Africa told me, you have to go to Istanbul. You'd really like Turkey. I had never been. I didn't know anything about Turkey. Didn't know anything about Istanbul. I found a cheap one-way ticket, bought a ticket for the next day, and I went downstairs. I told my friend, I'm going to cancel. I need to get out of Africa for a while. I need to just chill. I need to take a good long break for a few weeks. Stay in one place. I'm going to Istanbul tomorrow. Yeah, I felt bad for bailing on my friend, and it kind of worked out, but I did feel bad. But I was pretty at my ends. We were having a lot of tension by that point. It was like 5 weeks of grueling backpacking and crazy shit happening nonstop in Ethiopia. So ended up in Turkey, and it was pretty weird. I started seeing weird stuff. There was a weird vibe. I couldn't put my finger on it. Because COVID, I wasn't really paying attention at that time. I was just busy traveling and going and seeing the sights and doing tourist stuff. And I'll never forget, I was on a bus. I was like, okay, I want to go see this and this and this. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the stupid tourist bus. The double-decker bus. I was like, it's going to take me straight there. I can just slowly go see the city for the day. Like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a tourist, like real tourist today. And I'll never forget, I was on the top, and we were about to cross the big bridge. So you go over the Bosphorus on this big bridge, and it kind of reminds me of the Golden Gate Bridge. And I'll never forget, right before we were about to go over there, there's a park over here. This family got on the bus with a little girl. It was like, they looked probably Turkish. They had this little girl, and I'll never ever forget. She was in a bubble, like a literal bubble. It was so bizarre. They like put this plastic thing like over her chest or over the whole top part of her body, and she was literally in a bubble. And I was like, I took a picture of it. It was so crazy. I don't like taking pictures of people. I don't think that's cool. But I took a picture of this because this was too weird. I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, this is strange. And I started hearing about this COVID thing. And I was like, people are really losing their minds over this. Turns out it was pretty serious. Then the US government was like, all citizens come home. People I knew who were traveling on the road, who lived abroad, they were all going home. And everyone started really freaking out. And I had made the decision to just stay there. I was like, I'm just staying here. I'm not going anywhere. I didn't know anyone in Istanbul. I didn't know anyone in Turkey. I was like, I'm just going to fucking stay and see what happens. Like, YOLO. And turned out to be a pretty good decision. So I ended up living there for almost 2 years. Ended up getting like a residency and like legally living there. They let you stay for a long, long time and go over your visa, a very rare thing. So I ended up meeting a woman there, like moving in with her, just straight up having an apartment, just straight up living there for almost 2 years. So pretty wild. Just totally spur of the moment thing. Just booked a flight to Turkey, and there I went. So why am I talking about this? So something happened. An influencer shared my project. A bunch of people shared my project. But this influencer has over 1 million followers on X, Twitter. They are Turkish. It's some Turkish tech influencer guy. He has over 1 million followers. He tweeted out my emoji museum. He really liked it. He really liked emojis this time. And we had a few little interactions, and I got a shit ton of views. I got a shit ton of clicks. I got a ton of traffic. I got a bunch of likes, a bunch of follows. I tweeted this. I said, thank you for sharing. And I didn't respond to this guy. I just like quoted and retweeted. It makes me happy to see Turks enjoying it, as I spent years living in Istanbul and Turkey. And tons of people liked it, retweeted. He interacted. I got like almost 80,000 views. So now I'm sitting at over 2,000. Really good. Much out of the 5 projects I've launched. So I'm doing 25 projects in 25 weeks. Out of that, this is by far, so far, the most popular. It's not the most popular thing I've launched. I've launched a few other things that got even more buzz and clicks, but this is getting shared quite a bit. This has really resonated with people, interesting enough. So let's talk about this. So what did people find interesting? People really liked the museum, and this shows off like all the emojis and kind of walks you through like where did emojis come from? Like how was there like visual things? Who was the first person to ever kind of do this? And the first one's on a mobile device, and you could see all the emojis and emoticons through all the apps throughout the 2000s to the modern day. People really dug this. This was really popular. People liked the translator. So what didn't go well? I tried to make merch a thing. I have a bunch of merch. I actually quite like the merch. I do wear it out. I made a bunch of hats and merch. So when you click this, a thing pops up to try to upsell you. If you close it, it's closed. It doesn't come back. But I do have merch. I was trying to sell merch. I even had a Black Friday. So all these people came. I had a Black Friday sale, 20% off. It actually is a real sale too, not like these fake Black Friday sales. It really makes me mad. No one bought. So thousands of people came. No one bought. It tells me that no one. It's just we're not working. So I tried. I really am trying to make some money to keep this going, keep all these challenges going, make cool, crazier stuff, and keep making more and more better things, like really one up myself each time. So I need a way to make money to keep doing this. So I don't know. What do you think? How can I make some money? Because it's not going well on the money side. But I'm really getting some traction. A lot of people shared this, surprisingly. This went really well, and just really cool that it's a Turk again. Because I really mean what I said here. Like, Turkey is one of my favorite countries in the world for many reasons. I'm so happy to see this going well, like the marketing. I'm happy to see my things land, get attention, and actually resonate with people. But I really do need to make some money, so I got to figure out that piece. So that's up next. So that's it. What do you think? How can I make money doing this? Because I want to be an online creator who makes really cool, interesting, thought-provoking content and fun, experimental sites. The next one coming up is going to be a real good example of the kind of things I want to build moving forward. How can I make money? How can I make money? I'm struggling to get anyone to donate or make any money. So far, I've spent a lot of money on this stuff. I'm spending a lot of money. I am not making money. I am negative. I'm actually spending my own money, trying to keep things cheap as much as possible. But it was so good to see some positive results. Let's see if there's any questions or comments. Bro, The view of your home, amazing. What? What home? I think they mean my background. So funny story about that. That I'm kind of like famous for this in my Zoom. So I showed up. I was working remotely, living abroad. It's best I don't kind of reveal where I'm at, especially when I had my previous role at a software company working remotely. I kept it quiet where I was at, so I first showed up with this background, and people were like, "Where the hell are you? Is that real? I can't tell if that's real. Where the fuck are you?" And it was always a mystery where I was. I was always floating around the world, so it kind of became a running joke to have this background. That's why I keep it. I get a lot of comments about this background, so I think they're talking about this. Sick emoji site. I've also built a few things and put them up on Reddit. Yep. Mostly negative, low quality feedback. Yep. If not deleted for some thoughtless reason, that I'll go on X changing all the time. Maybe try posting some things up there. Yes, it's tough these days. You get a lot of negative feedback. Like, people just find any fucking thing to be negative about. It's trolls. When people are getting it deleted sucks and it's not good, but when people start being negative, actually makes the algorithm show you more. It's actually a good thing. You actually want people to be talking shit, but not deleting. That's very different. You don't want the X algo to not show you. So I've been really struggling with that. I've really been thinking about giving up on X. I don't really care how Elon runs it. I think the incentives are all wrong. I think going to paying people to post has really ruined the platform. It makes bots. It makes all sorts of people just post bullshit and outrage and rage bait and do all this things, toxic things to get views so they can make money. You know, you're incentivizing just the wrong thing. So I'm fundamentally against how it's being ran, because incentives are leading to really just a kind of a cesspool. Thank you so much for the comments. I really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm a lot. So if you could please just, if you're still here, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. The idea is to ladder up and make more crazy impressive sites and content. So I'm working on it. That's all I got for today. Next video will be me talking about the launch of my next project, Project 6 out of 25. So see you then.